It's so bright. Okay, here we go. Fall is the season I usually watch Jacksepticeye videos, of course. Because it's spooky season, and then, you know, I get into like, oh, I need to do some spooky art, and then I'm like, oh, like, it's Antisepticeye season, like, heck yeah, I don't know, that's just what I think of. I need you to go, okay? I need you to drive better than this, okay? I'm sorry, if I go straight from talking to you and then just sounding like a complete jerk, that's just me talking to the people around. So usually, that sprinkler is having some issues. It would be con season, but it's not. So I'm just like, you know, a combination of con season, it's depression season, it's watching Jacksepticeye videos season. It reminded me of when we met Jacksepticeye. And I just don't know why. I am just overtaken with just pure embarrassment. Like, it's not even funny. I'm trying to get like a better angle because I feel like this angle is really like accentuating my double chin, and I'm not a fan of that, but like, what can you do? Because when we went to meet him, like in the line, I was totally, well, of course, I was freaking out a little bit, but then like, I was like, fine. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna like say hello and like, yeah. But like a lady went by first and she's like, oh, like when you like, you know, think about what you want to like say to him. I was like, that's kind of weird. Why are you telling me that? You know, like, why are you going around telling people like, oh, think about things you should say to this famous person or something? I was like, that's really weird. I just want to say hello and then dip, you know, like, and have him sign a picture, you know, like, that's it. It was a little weird because I'd never like met somebody interesting before. I'd never done a meet and greet, so I had like, I was like, well, that's kind of weird. I just wasn't used to it. And then like, and then the lady came back like 10 minutes later, and she's like, okay, just so you know, when you meet him, don't Skype call your friends so they can meet him. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh no, is that what they were doing? Because I saw some girls like on their phones like talking to him at the same time, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, what the heck, you know? And so this lady is just going around like, please, you only have like a minute maximum, you know? Or like 30 seconds or something like that. You can't Skype call your friends so they can meet him too. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what I got myself into, because I've never like stood in line to meet somebody. Like, anyway, so eventually it's my turn. It's my turn, you know? And like, so I go up there and I was like, hi, you know, like, oh, how's it going? You know, and he's like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. And I'm like, ah, you know, and I'm like, can I have a hug? And he's like, yeah, sure. It's kind of weird now when you like see people giving hugs and like being standing close to each other in movies and pictures and stuff now, because it's like, oh my gosh, they're not social distancing. I need, oh my gosh, they're gonna catch corona and everyone's gonna die. That child is next to an old person. That old person is gonna die. You're like, why aren't they wearing masks? Like, what's going on? But then you're like, oh, that was like a year ago. Like, silly me. I feel like the person in front of me is looking at me in the rearview mirror really weird. But whatever, I'm telling a story, okay? So anyway, I said hi, I gave him a hug, and like, I didn't know what to say after that. And then I flashed back to the moment where the lady told us to think about what we wanted to say to him, and I'm like, I should have taken her advice. But like, you know, so I just stood there like, looking at him like, you know, and like, I think he was kind of like waiting, like, did you want to say something to me? Like, did you have something you wanted to say, or, I don't know, you got a hug, yeah, and then I was like, can you sign my thing? Like, yeah, like, I have a drawing for you to sign, you know, like, here. And then it was really cute though, because I had it it was still in my sketchbook. And I don't know, I thought I was pretty clear. I was like, I would like you to sign this drawing, like on the drawing, you know. And he's like, oh my gosh, it's so good. I'm like, yeah, thank you, you know. But then he signed the page adjacent to it. Is that the right word? Adjacent? I don't care. Jason. No, there wasn't a Jason in my sketchbook. Anyway, and he signed like the page next to it, and I was like, oh, that's another drawing you just signed, but okay. I think he didn't want to like mess it up, I guess, like mess up my drawing by signing it. Like, I get it. Like, I'd be in the same position. I'd be like, no, you worked hard on this. This is like an original. It's not a print. Like I'll just sign next to it. But then I'm like, oh, you kind of defeated the purpose because you signed the back of another drawing, which is like, yeah. That's the tea on that. But I don't know why. I'm a little embarrassed still. I know there's nothing to be embarrassed about, but like, I don't know. I just keep getting like just secondhand embarrassment from myself. Cause like, obviously, like, I'm not like mad at myself. I'm just like, woo, wow. Cause like, what else was I gonna do? There wasn't really another like option, you know, unless talking about the weather was another option. Honestly, anyway, like, I'm not gonna like tell him like, oh, like, I really like, thank you so much for, I'm not gonna tell him what I was really thinking, like, thank you so much for your videos. Like, it was really important and helpful for me to have something to listen to, like, literally endless entertainment. Like, it wasn't like I had watched everything on Netflix at that point in my depression, even the things I didn't want to watch. But endless entertainment of just watching Jacksepticeye videos all day long, you know, super positive and all that stuff. But I wasn't gonna like explain that to him like right there. So it's like, I mean, you know, I'm not mad at myself. I'm just a little disappointed. But then I'm not really disappointed in myself because I don't think I would have, it's a yellow light. Okay, sorry. To make it less awkward, but I'm still dying of secondhand embarrassment of myself. Woo! Oh, I hope he never sees this video, ever. Yikes. Well, yeah, no, I hope he never sees this video. Maybe, I can't tell if it's because I'm old. I'm not old. I'm literally, I'm pretty young. I'm not a teenager. Maybe teenagers are just better at, like, they just don't care as much about what other people think, or they don't mind having really private conversations in front of a lot of people. I don't know. But then, if you think about it, potentially I'm having a very private conversation in front of a lot of people now. So, what am I doing with my life? I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted you to know I'm still like dying of secondhand embarrassment, but I still had a good time. So, you know, that's the only thing that matters. And now I'm heading to work to get yelled at by a bunch of strangers.